Does anyone see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, we'll start soon. I'll take a couple of minutes to give you a high-level background about our new system. Okay. Okay, so I think some of you may have already known. Some of you may already know that we'll have a new HRMS in the second half of this year. We'll be having that as a centralized system to handle or manage all the HR functions, including talent management, acquisition, compensation, performance management, as well as learning. Therefore, the new system is WorkDay. It comes with an LMS. Therefore, my career, the one we are currently using now, will be faded out at the end of the year. Okay. So why you were invited to this section? As we move to the new system, WorkDay, we need to move all our existing cores and resources from my career to WorkDay. So the Center of Excellence for Learning decided a scope for this migration. As you see from here, for all the classroom or webinar sections, there's event and sections we are currently calling in my career. For those events you will be conducted in 2018, we'll need your help to input this into the new system. And this is what this section is going to train you about. How do you create event and sections in WorkDay? Okay, they have a different name, so the concept part I'll leave the concept part to PwC. So for digital resources, like those videos or document, e-modules, the scope will be if the resources are created from 2016 onward, we'll migrate all of this to WorkDay, and this action will be taken by PwC. Okay. So what you need to do, first of all, we need your help to gather a list of trainers from your local area, because when you create an event or section, as you may see soon, you need to specify the trainer. So what we need is the trainer's name and probably their staff ID and email, so that we can specify the trainer and have their assets or their role created in WorkDay. Okay, and then you will need your help to gather information for event or sections that you will conduct in 2018. Okay, and then we need your help to input this information directly into WorkDay. We'll provide the platform, and the training today will teach you how to do that. So if there is any attachment or files or digital resources come with your event or section, for example, as a pre-reading material or a reference material, after you set it up into WorkDay, we would like you to pass a copy to PwC so that they can take care of them while they migrate all the information to the production system. Okay, so I'll pass on to Jenny from PwC to show you, to talk about the basic concept about WorkDay, how it's different from Cornerstone, and then how you could create event and sections in WorkDay. Okay.
Thank you, Jason. And hello, everyone. This is Jenny from PwC. Before we start to create the courses, the event session in WorkDay, so first I would like to introduce some basic concept. Okay. So the first one is learning topics. In WorkDay, we have the concept called learning topics, which is similar to the current concept like learning subjects. And it is a required field. So for each course, it has to be assigned one topic. And WorkDay can deliver their own topics, but as discussed with the COE. Sorry? Yeah, I just enlarged the picture a little bit so that you can see it clearly. Okay. So for WorkDay, it has their own delivered topics, but in our situation, we have discussed with the learning COE, and we have created 19 topics in the WorkDay system that I will show you later. And for each topic, it should be associated with an image. And currently, WorkDay has 12 images that we can select. So now let's have a look at what is the topics in WorkDay. Yeah, now you can see it is the system of WorkDay. Just to be clarified, it's not a perfect system. It's just a system for this stage for Enter, so it's not perfect. And here we have an icon called Learning. As a learner, we can click this icon. And we click More. We can select topics. So this is the topics that we will see in the system. For example, we have created the business ethics and compliance. We created business expertise. And when we click into each topics, you can see there are courses associated with these topics. And when you create a course, if you cannot find a topic that is suitable for your course, we have already created topics called Others. So you can link your course with the others. Okay. So this one is just the illustration examples. The next concept is the blended course. As we mentioned before, this session will tell you how to create the event and the session. But in WorkDay, we call it blended course. So the blended course is similar to the current concept event. And the course offerings is similar to the current concept session. For example, if now I would like to create a WorkDay training in different location, let's say Hong Kong, Shanghai, and London. So first thing I will do is I will create a blended course, input all the required information, just like event, and based on this information, based on this kind of blended course, we can schedule different offerings to different locations, like Hong Kong, Shanghai, and London. And in each course offering, you can specify the location information, the date and time, and it can be enrolled. So let's have a look at what it will be look in the system. Again, we go to Learning icon, and we click Browse. You can search like trend. This is a sample that we have already inputted. Trendalytics. For example, you can see we have a Trendalytics workshop that will be organized on October the 27th in London. And another one, the same date, but in Trowbridge. Another one will be Paris. So this one just like your session, and we call it offering. And let's click into one to see. Yes, for example, for this session, you can see the name of the session, Trendalytics, and the introduction, and the date, the location. And we can also include the pre-reading materials. Here we have two pre-reading materials. The first one is a video, and the second one is a document. And this one, the third one, is the classroom training. Okay. And the last concept is WorkDay digital learning. We call it digital courses. It's similar to the current concept like video, online resources, and e-modules. And there are two differences between the digital courses and the blended courses. The first one is we cannot include any classroom training into the digital courses. So for the classroom training, like the workshop, like the webinar, you can only create it by a blended course. And for the digital courses, you can only include the media, external link, or survey. And the second difference is digital course, we cannot have offerings for the digital course. So let's see what it would be like in the system. Again. Yeah, the first one, apply leave on one family. This one is a digital course. And we'll click in it. And we click apply leave on one family. Yes, and you can click this one to view the course. Okay, so these are the three main concepts of WorkDay learning that will be used in the following session. Do you have any question? We have 10 minutes for Q&A for this session. No? Okay, let's continue. Oh yeah, Anna.
Anna, what is the question?
Hi, I have a question. Actually, a request if possible. Could you make the screen fit
A little bit.
in one screen? Because for those who are on remote location, it's kind of hard to be moving it around. So there's a possibility to have the screen in only one shot, so you don't move it around because it's a little hard to follow.
Okay. No problem. I will make it a little bit slow. Yeah, sorry for it.
No, not about the speed of your motion, but about not moving it all around when you explain it. Because for us in a remote location, it's difficult to follow.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, thank you. If no questions about the concept, then we are going to do the demo about how to create courses in the system. Okay, so let's go back to the home page. In the home page, we have two icons. One is learning, another one is learning admin. So for the learning icon, as I showed you before, this one is the vision from the learner perspective. And for us, if we would like to create courses, we need to click this one, learning admin. So I just click into it. Okay. Sorry, the internet is a little bit slow. Yeah. This is the page that a learning administrator will see. And to create a course, here we have the learning creation, and we need to click course. And as I introduced before, there are two types of courses. The first one is blended course. The second one is digital course. We start from the blended course. If you wanted to create a classroom training, we need to create the blended course. So the first field is required field is the course title. For example, if now we would like to schedule a course, and let's see, the course name is WorkDay training. WorkDay training. Okay. Sorry. WorkDay training. And the second one is we need to input is a skill level, but for this field it is optional. So what does it mean? We have beginner, intermediate, and advanced. It means whether this course is suitable for a beginner, an intermediate, or advanced, but it is not required. So if your current course doesn't have this kind of information, we can just ignore it. Okay, so the third field, or the third mandatory field is a description. Like just WorkDay training is mandatory for everyone. Yeah, the description. And as mentioned before, topics is another mandatory field. There are 18 topics we have already created in the system. And if you think you cannot match any of it, you can just click others. And please remember, for one course, we can only, in the current situation, we can only select one topics. Security category is not a mandatory field, so at this stage, we do not to fill in it. And this one exclude from recommendations.
Now attending.
Because for the system, it is very smart. It can recommend courses to you based on your interest, based on your learning records. So I suggest for each course, you just leave it blank. So because if you check the box, it means this course will not be recommended to any learner. So for this field, we just leave it blank. And inactive means if you check inactive, this course will be inactive. So at this point, we just leave it blank. And for the version is the version number. For example, you have version 1.0, you may have version 2.0. It's free text. It's not mandatory. And the version knows just the description of version. And the effective date is a mandatory field. So which means, generally speaking, we will use the creation date as the effective date. But for example, if you want this course can be searched or be effective in a specific date, so we can change it to any date. And contact person, usually we will put the learning COE in this field. For example, Debbie. And the tab value is the how long will this course talk? So as you can see, we have minutes, we have hours, we have days. For example, we can select hours, and maybe this course will spend 3 hours. And this one, enable auto enrollment from the waiting list. If you check this box, if there are any seats available, so the people sitting in the waiting list will be automatically registered into the course. So I recommend to just check that box. And course number. If you have the course number, you can just put in it. It's free text. And the minimum your enrollment capability, if you have, you can put it. And the maximum, you just can put it. The waitlist capability, you can, let's see, 20. And expiry period is the due date of the course. There are two options. One is date. So, for example, if this course will be expired on next Friday, so you can just set the date. And another choice is duration. And you can select the measurement, like days, weeks, or months, for example, weeks. If I select weeks and I put into 2 here, which means this course will be due within 2 weeks, start from the effective date. So in this part, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. We only have 4 mandatory fields. One is the course title, the description, the topics, the effective dates. For other without the star, here is optional. It depends on you to whether fill in the information or not. And for the units and course, we just leave it here. And for this one, instructor-led details, a lot of instructors, which means because, for example, for one workshop, you may have 3 or 4 instructors. So you need to include all instructors into this field. In my example, I will select Debbie, Florence, and Susanna. And a lot of locations. You need to select all the locations that you will have offers based on this course. For my case, I would like to select Hong Kong, maybe London, Paris. Okay. So the next thing you would like to do is you need to add the lesson into this course. Because this is a blended course, you have 5 options. The first one is the external content. Let's see the content URL. If you have any for this field, you can input some like the external URL, like YouTube, like the other link of the video, and you need to input the title. Okay, and if you think this lesson is mandatory, you can check this one. Make lesson mandatory. Okay. And another options are instructor-led classroom training, instructor-led webinar, media, and surveys. So for this session, we can focus on the instructor-led classroom training first. So for this one, the lesson order is first. And we can make this lesson mandatory. And the title is the WorkDay training. And you can also choose whether or not you like to track attendance. For the class training, I think most of the time we need to check attendance. So we can just check this box. And for the track grades, if you take this one, you need to put whether it's pass or fail. But for the grading schemes, as the instructor can fill in the grades in the future. Okay. So, for example, if we have some pre-reading materials for this classroom training, we can put it here. We can select media, and we make the lesson order too, and we can make this lesson mandatory. For example, if we have a documents that we need to read before this classroom training, we can click the documents. But from your side, you need to create media if you want to upload any materials here. You just select the files. Yeah, but for the demo purpose, yeah, I don't have any materials in this computer, so I'm preloading some documents. So for me, I can just select the documents. I'll select this one. And you can name is introduction, like this one. Introduction. And if you make this lesson the first one, this one you need to reorder like second. And click submit. Done. So what I have done, what I did before is I create a blended course, which is similar to you create an event. So the next thing I would like to do is we need to schedule the offering, which means we need to create the sessions based on the course that we just created. So here we click schedule offering. And you can search the course that we just created. And see, this is the course that we just created. And we click this one. If you wanted to change any information, you can click edit to edit course information. If it is okay to schedule, you can just click this one, schedule. So if you think everything is fine and no need to change, just go to this part. Primary instructors. For example, if I would like to create an offer for Hong Kong, and for Hong Kong, the primary instructor is Florence. So I just select Florence. And the primary location is Hong Kong. And for the media, we can just leave it here if you don't want to change. And for the instructor-like classroom training, we need to specify the instructors, the locations, the start date and end date here. So in this case, the instructors will be Florence, and the location, Hong Kong. The start date, we can set it, we just can change time. Okay. We'll click OK. Okay. So here you can see this is offering. for Hong Kong, and we have a introduction document with this workshop, with this classroom training. So from the learner perspective, if I'm a learner, I will go into the system within this icon learning. Sorry, it's too fast. And if I would like to...
Pina has some question.
Okay.
Yes, raise a question. Just wait a minute.
Okay.
Everyone.
Can we, maybe we can just continue because after this we have a Q&A section for... Is it okay? So let's continue. As I mentioned, now we can browse the course from the learner perspective. So if I'm a learner, I can click this browse. And we can search the course. I can find this offering. This WorkDay training, February the 8th, 3 hours from Hong Kong. And you can enroll yourself into this course. And if you're a manager, you can also enroll your team. So this is how to create a classroom training in your language, is how to create an event, and how to schedule the offering in the LF language, how to create the session in WorkDay. Okay, now we have a 15 minutes Q&A for this section. You can raise any questions that is not very clear to you. David told me that there is a question, right?
Pina, you have a question, right? Hello, Pina? Yes.
Hi, David.
Yes. Please raise your question.
You said you need to choose a lot instructors while creating the event.
Yeah.
For example, if I would like to create a section for this event, but I'm not in the list of a lot instructor, how can I choose my name or any other instructors in the location?
Yeah, it's really, yeah. Okay, because, so this is the reason why we need you to provide the instructor list. If you wanted to include this instructors into the specific offering, you have to include it into the very beginning. But I know what your case. For example, maybe at the beginning I forgot to add that instructors. So what you can do is you can go back to the blended course, which means you can go back into your event and you can edit your event and add one more instructors in the allowed instructors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we will be able to edit the allowed instructor then.
Yeah. It can be added.
Okay. Because we are not able to specify all the instructors at the beginning of the year. Sometimes we need to change them. So, okay, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, we can edit the course and just as I mentioned before, there is a version number, so you can also change your version, like to update the version 1 to version 2 to add new instructors into the course.
Okay, thank you.
And Janice,
Just to add on, from the very beginning, I mentioned about providing a list of instructors because instructor is a specific role in the system, which we need to grant access to these list of employees, so that you can search for the setting up event or sections. So I will later send out email with a link or template for you to input all the instructor name and ID into the template so that we can set that up into the system. But in the future, I think when you have a new instructor, you will need the learning admin to add, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, And for the external instructor, we suggest to just put our learning administrator's name into that part, because the main actions for the learning instructor is just to mark the attendance and provide a grace. So our suggestion is we can just put our learning administrator's name into the instructor field, and our learning administrator will help the external instructor to mark the attendance and to provide a grade in the system.
Yeah, and one more thing is instructor is just a role in the system. That means yourself, say for example, could be the learning administrator, but at the same time you could be an instructor. It's just a role. Of course, yourself would be a learner as well.
Hello. Yeah, I have a question here about the instructor. So what about external instructor? We also can add the name in.
No, the system do not cater for external instructors. So our approach to deal with external instructor is to put the contact person as the instructor.
Oh, okay, okay. I see.
Thank you.
Actually, we can create a course which is using the external instructor. We can, but we cannot just add the instructor name in the system.
Yeah, because all instructor has to be a user in the system.
Yes,
that means they have to be Lianfo employees.
Okay.
So a workaround is to put the contact person as the instructor, but the external instructor, of course, are actually delivering the section.
Okay, got it.
And I received a question about will there be a user guide provided on how to create training records in system? I think it's we will have the trainer section, and we will have the handbook for all the information. No problem. And yes.
Yeah, we'll have more sections on how you how the user or the learning administrator use WorkDay to manage their course and section and online course. So the section today are more focusing on creating event and sections, because we need your help to input those course and sections you will be using in 2018 into the system before the system go live.
But okay, good to know this. But can I ask now? So where is the system now, and when and how we're gonna input this? The cost we have in the system.
We'll be setting out more communication and email to you, because right now we are preparing the what do we call the platform?
Tenant.
A tenant. Yeah, tenant. We are preparing the tenant for you to input. But the current schedule is to have the system go live in the second half of this year.
Right, but then we need to prepare to input this course before that, right?
Yes.
Okay,
If you already have plans for these courses, I think it's a good idea to input it. So once the system go live, the employee can see your offerings.
I see. Okay, just let us know about the schedule when we can input it. Okay.
Yeah. Tentatively, we would love to have your input by 21st of February. So we'll be sending the link to the tenant and also the login information, etc. In the near future.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, Jason. I'm Lily from Ellis Logistics. Just a quick question about the topics that we are gonna, provide you, the things that we're gonna conduct in 2018. I know that you need to input that into the system, but what if, the business lines, they have this unexpected need of training, and then we somehow need to do that in the middle of the year, which is, not something that we are aware of at this moment of the year. So can I still, add this particular training workshop into the system in the middle of the year? I mean, after the system goes live?
Okay, let me put it this way. Of course, you can. Okay, so we are currently in the process of migrating, existing data as well as course data, especially event and sections, to be used this year into a tenant. It's for migration to before the system go live. But once the system go live, you can still add any course or events with your administrative role.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that address your question?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello, I have a question.
Yeah.
I want to know whether we need to create the test because sometimes the course needs some tests, and how can we create the test in the course or module?
That's a good question. Thank you. Correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but from my understanding, WorkDay does not come with a quiz builder. That's a shame. Okay, I can say. The survey doesn't serve the purpose of a quiz as we expected. So what we get from PwC and WorkDay's suggestion is we have to source a third-party quiz builder to build a quiz and then import it into WorkDay. I think most likely as a SCORM object that is same as e-learning modules.
And I also noticed that there might be a question like whether we can put the remarks into the session. So I think for this requirement, you can put the remarks into the description side. Because if you, let me go back to the tenant. Yes. For example, just go back to the session. Sorry, please wait a minute. So.
Sorry,
Okay.
just to add on, regarding the quiz builder, I'm currently sourcing a third-party, tool to build the quiz and then input into the system. I'll be sharing that once I got a good ones to use with all of you.
Okay, I think if you like to add the remarks to the specific section, I suggest to add it here. There's for example, an instructor light course classroom training. If there are any remarks, you can put it into the description. This part, this free test. This is one place that I think we can leverage. Another one, my suggestion is if you wanted to put some remarks, you can just put it into the description. This part. Okay.
Jenny, another question.
Yeah.
Can we change the class size for different sections?
Oh yeah. Here, for example, this is the specific offering that are created for Hong Kong, right?
Okay.
So you can change here, like the minimum, because the logic is in order to leverage the blended course. So similar to the event, you copy the information from the event, from the blended course to the course offering, but you can further add it. So this before this 20, right? So before we just copy the information from blended course to this course offering, and if you wanted to revert anything, like I change this to 30, and it changes to 60, yeah, you can do it for specific offering or specific session. Let me see. So here's another question like, can we create or copy the URL for learning access at the register page directly instead of using a browse menu? Sorry, I didn't get a point. Maybe someone can provide more information about your requirements. You mean because currently if we wanted to find a course, we leverage the browse function, and you can keep in the keywords like apply live, yeah. So you can just keep the key in the keywords and find it. You can find the relevant courses. This is one way that you can browse the course. And another way you can browse the course is you can leverage the search function here, like whether it's request enrollments, it's on demand, and create by worker instructor, primary location, the course rating, the skill level, the topic, and the tab. You can also leverage all these filters to select the course, to browse the course.
Sorry, I have another question.
Yep.
I would like to know whether the course setting can be like we finish course 1 first and then we proceed to course number 2, and there's sequence there.
Oh yeah, we can do it. I can show you an example like this one, DJ Starter. Just click OK. Yeah, actually this one will be covered in the digital course. For example, what it means is there are sequence between different courses, right? So we leverage the lesson order to achieve it. For example, you have 3 courses and you wanted the person to take this one first, so you put it the order 1, and you need to make the lesson mandatory. So which means if they don't complete this one, it cannot be proceeded to another one. And the second one will be the second course, and the third one. So you can leverage the lesson order plus the whether it is mandatory or not to achieve your requirements. Does it make sense for you?
Yeah, okay, no problem. So
Thank you.
if I want for like this one, there are 5 media, yeah?
Yeah.
Can I say that they can random pick anyone to study, and until they finish 4 to 5, then they will go to another section or go to another training like that?
No.
So we have to make sure they have to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Yeah, I got a point.
Hello, this is Marco from PLC as well. So for normal employee pool, you follow the lesson order, but if your lesson, for example, lesson 1 is not mandatory, after the employee go to lesson 1, they can skip to go to lesson 2. But if the lesson 1 is mandatory, they must complete the lesson 1 in order to proceed to lesson 2. So there's a different option available. Yeah.
Question from Thailand. So it means if we don't have the order for lesson 1, 2, 3 and make it mandatory, so we don't need to put the order number, or we still need to put the order number?
Still need to put the order number.
Because the order number is a mandatory field. So we still need to put the number here. But as Marco mentioned, there's no need to make it mandatory. So the employee can pick up any number, yeah.
The order number is also how these material or lessons being listed in sequence once the user go into the course details.
And how about the event? How you classify the event? If you put the event here.
Sorry?
So can you pardon?
Do you have a sample for the event? If you want to create some event here, what are the event?
Okay, I got a point. Actually, what I have demonstrated is first we create event and we schedule the offering based on that event. So I can show you, okay, from the learning administrative perspective.
One thing I want to reinforce is we don't have event, the term event in WorkDay. We use either a branded course or a digital course. As for your situation, if you want to create classroom sections, you have to use branded course. So once you create a branded course, that's similar to what we have right now as event, and then you can create different offerings, which is what we call sections in my career right now.
Yeah.
So the terminology changes. Actually, a branded course is how you do it with event. Does it make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, for this one, I can just show you like the workday training. This is the blended course that I created first, and in our current languages event. And this one, the workday training, February the 8th, it is the offering that we scheduled based on the blended course. And in your language, you call it session. Yeah.
And also, if you want to specific locate a particular type, such as blended course or the course offering, so at the left-hand side, you can see there is a filter, so you can click into the content type. This one. So as I want to locate the blended course, so only blended course will show here.
Yeah.
So when I need to go to the session, that means the course offering. So I just clear the filter and click course offering. Okay. Yeah. So only the course offering will show here. So this is the dynamic report too. So.
But this view is a learning administrator.
Yeah, learning administrator view.
So for employee, they can only see offerings.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for employee.
Because the employee can only enroll in the course offering, but not the blended course.
Yeah. So we can see this different, yes. Okay. Okay. So another thing we can have a look is the okay. So because of the time limitation, we may move forward to the digital course session. And if you have any more information, as Jason mentioned, we can schedule another sessions for the detailed training, and we will also provide introduction in the playback. So for today's section, we would like to teach you how to create the courses. Yeah.
Yeah. The objective is for you to understand how to create courses, because that's essential for us to prepare the tenant for our future migration to the production environment. That's the one who's going to go live. So how you deal with other like enrollment, how you manage different attendance will be in future training.
Yeah.
So the next part is to create digital course. It is quite similar to branded course, just you don't have any offerings, because digital course is a self-paced course. You can do it anytime on demand. One thing to strengthen that is digital course is what the terminology we use in WorkDay, and it covers everything from online courses to materials or documents that we use in my career right now. The only thing you need to pay attention is a digital course doesn't include any face-to-face section. If you ever need to create a face-to-face section, you have to use branded course. And no matter if you have any attachment or even a P course, an e-learning course as a one of the lesson, you still have to use branded course. Okay, so I'll leave this to Jenny to show you how you create a digital course. It should be simpler than a branded course.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason. So, the same way, we go into the learning admin perspective, and we go to the learning creation, and we create course. And this time, we select digital course, and we click OK. So you can see this view is similar to the blended course one. The course title is the skill level, description, topics, all the same. And for this part, inactive, contact person, time value, all the same. So what I wanted to mention is this one, the status. Because for the blended course, we have the effective date to control whether it can be browsed in the system. But for digital course, we use the status, open or close. So, please remember, if you want this course can be browsed, can be seen in the system, you must keep the status open. And the second part is require enrollment. I know for the classroom training, they are all require enrollment, but for digital course, it really depends on the situation. So if we uncheck this one, it means everyone can see this course. And if you need specific registration for this digital course, you can check the box. Yeah. This is the only two differences that I would like to emphasize. And let's move to a lesson. So in the digital course, we have three elements. You can add the external content, you can add the media, and you can add a survey. So I've already demonstrated the external content before. Now let's go to the media. Yeah, this part is also similar to the blended course. The difference is for example, I would like to include a video here. So you can just select the video. And you need to change the title. General, yeah, this one. But what I have done is you have already upload the medias into the system. From your side, if you haven't upload any media files in the system, what you need to do is you need to click this one, create media. And you select the files from your local driver. Maybe I can just upload this one. And click OK. So change the name. Okay, and if you have more videos, materials, you can just select the media one more time, and it will change the order. And yeah, for the other elements is similar. Create the medium. Yeah. I just delete this one. Keep it easy. And click submit. Oh, sorry, I forgot to this one. So we can just keep in the Workday training 1. So this one. Topics, just select 6. Okay. So we click submit. Okay, and from the learner perspective, we click this one, the learning, and browse. and search Workday, we can see the Workday training that we just created. Because if you remember, I checked the required register that field. So for this one, if you like to have a look, you need to enroll. Submit. Oh, it's a system, sorry. It's a system error that we need to fix later. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So,
Sorry for that error because right now we are using the PwC information account. So PwC is not an employee for Lianfeng. So when I click the enroll button, so it show error. But when if the Lianfeng employee, we can successfully enroll it. So no worries for this one.
yeah. Okay. So this is the digital course. Okay. Okay.
Anna?
Anna?
Could you please zoom in the screen a little bit?
Zoom in. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So okay. So this is how we can create a digital course. Similar, we have another Q&A section, 50 minutes for this session. Please feel free to ask questions about the digital course.
This is Kate from the UK. We have some external providers for online content. One called Learning Heroes, so we have lots of different materials
Okay.
on Cornerstone at the moment, which people can access, like webinars and things, and e-learning. How would we kind of get that onto the system? Is that possible?
Okay, this is Jason. That's something we need to discuss in a separate call regarding all these material migration, because currently we have 9,000 online courses and material in the system. So to heads up, we are raising the request to Cornerstone to extract all these files as a backup, and then PwC will help out to migrate them automatically into WorkDay. But yeah, we'll have another call to discuss how we do this, because I can see there are around 4,000 online courses from external provider in Europe.
Thank you.
Okay.
One more question is regarding the need to enroll. If we uncheck that, we don't need to enroll. But how about the transcript record? Do we still have the transcript record for the learner?
Yes, for that one we have. Yeah, yes, we have.
We have more questions.
To add external training data. Oh, this one I think we have already. Do we able to add external training data to the system? Yeah, just mentioned. I think maybe for this one you mean the external training records, right? External training records.
Okay.
No.
From
talent.
Yeah. When you say external training data, do you mean our employee attend the training outside, and then you want to have that record into the system?
Yes, exactly.
No, currently we cannot. Sorry. Because for the learning records in Workday system, they can only capture the learning record that you have done. You have offered in the internal system. But I can show you where is the learning records. Okay.
I want to raise a question for that. When you say external training, will you create that event or section in the system for the employee to enroll? But actually,
No. In my career system, our colleagues are able to add external training data. For example, in the transcript, I attended to an external training just to show in the transcript,
Yeah, transcript.
not for enrollment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me show you. Under the under the personal profile, we have a career, and click more. Learning.
No, not training.
training.
So this one learning is your enrollment record is a WorkDay. So you see different status such as in progress training, learning record, and lost data, and even completed courses. And for the external training, so you can go into the training tab and then add freely the training you attend outside.
Yep.
So it's the name, type, description, completion date, etc.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And I think we have more questions, right?
Hello?
Yeah.
Can I have a question?
Yeah. Please.
I want to know whether we can generate a report about the course.
How many people study?
Yeah, how about how many people studied, whether they pass or fail, and this kind of reporting?
Yes, we will. We will have reporting. Unfortunately, it is not in the scope of this section here. But we will be having another section about reporting. Yeah. But not that soon, okay? Just to manage your expectation. Okay. But we will have that functionality.
Oh yes, and for this question, I mean, if staff would like to register the course, they can click on the link URL to access the enrollment page instead of go to the learning menu and search that course.
That means does WorkDay have direct message?
I think workaround is maybe but I need to have a try. I think you can just, for example, if you want to send an email, send a record about the email, right? You send the email and you can include, for people enrollment. I think maybe you could copy and paste just like this one, copy and paste and go into the system. But for this one, I need to double check. Currently, what I can promise is like you can register the course through the browse function. But I got your requirements. We can have a try and we can get back to you after this session.
Yeah, that's something PwC has to come back after they tried out. But I think the good news for the new system is that it's fully mobile compatible. That means everyone can use their mobile phone to browse the courses and enroll from there. That's something better than what we are using now.
And for this question, for creating the courses, sessions, and WorkDay, does it include both graded and non-graded stuff? Yes, graded stuff.
So one supplement for this one is for the long graded one. So you may refer to the PATO staff. That means the factory workers. So for the phase one scoping, the PATO workers do not have the WorkDay access, so they do not enter into the learning module for this one. So for currently, we only the graded stuff will be included for learning.
And another question is, can we try the system before going live? Yes, we had the UAT session. Yeah, we will have a very long UAT period that you can try out, you can play around by yourself, and we would like to collect the information from you.
And also, next week we have the payback session to show about the system, and also we will teach you how to use the system to try one during the TTT session, and you have 1 month for the UAT period to really test the system, to play around the system. So, that's the planning for now.
Yeah. So, any more questions about it? Okay.
Okay, so if no more question, I would like to remind everyone in the section that we need your help to provide a list of instructor names and their email address and probably staff ID if possible. Hopefully, I know it's an apology for a short notice, but if you could provide us with the list by next Wednesday, it will be much appreciated. Yeah, I will be sending out a template or form for you to fill out the instructor names. Hopefully by the end of the week, we can provide you the link to the tenant, and then also a login account so that you can start creating your courses that will be used in 2018. Sorry? Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be having more sections when the system are more ready before the UAT. I'm sure. So thanks everyone for joining today. Okay, I'll be discussing how we migrated external courses. Let's schedule another section, a separate section with you and yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you for your help. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.